Okay, so in this video we're going to look at synthetic division. And synthetic division, it's just another method of polynomial division, and really important, just remember that we use it when we divide by a linear factor, and it only works in this case. You can find examples of this in your appendix, and there's also a really good video there to look at as well with some more examples. So if we divide this polynomial, so x of 3 plus 2x squared minus 1 by the linear factor x minus 3. You can do it in other methods, but we're going to use synthetic division today. So first of all, we take what we're dividing it by, x minus 3, and we make that equal to 0. We solve it, we get x equals 3. And that's important because when we set our table up, which looks like this, you put this number here, what x equals, you put that here, so 3. Then what we do is we put all the coefficients across here, so the coefficients of the polynomial. So in this case it would be 1 for that one there, 2. Now a lot of people would then put -1, you'd get it wrong. The next one should be 0, and then after that we put -1. If you're wondering why it's 0, this question here is actually x to the power of 3 plus 2x squared plus 0x minus 1. So in the same way, when we do long division, if there's a missing term, we put a 0 there. It's the same with synthetic. So 1, 2, 0, -1. Now, the first thing we do is we copy this down. We copy the first term down. You just copy it down. Then what we do is we take this term here and we multiply it by that one there. 3 times 1 is 3, and we write that in this spot here. And then what we do is we add. So I'll play around the colors. So 2 plus 3 gives us 5. So I've just added down, 2 plus 3 is 5. And then we do the same thing we did before. We multiply. So 3 by 5 is 15. We write that up here. And then we add. 0 plus 15 is 15. And then we do the same thing again. We multiply. 3 by 15 is 45. And you write that here. You don't have to use the arrows I'm using. I'm just using the arrows to emphasize what we're doing. And we add -1 plus 45 is 44. So that's all good and well, but it doesn't tell us much when you write the answer. So therefore, what's the answer? Well, when you take x to the power of 3 plus 2x squared, I'm just writing out the question again, -1 divided by x minus 3, it equals, I'm going to use these are the coefficients. So x squared, or 1x squared plus 5x plus 15, and the last number gives you the remainder. That is the remainder, 44. So we can write that as plus 44 over x minus 3. And that's it. You can stop the video there if you're happy with that. I will also do this now using polynomial long division. If you're comfortable with this, you don't need to watch this part, but I'm just going to do it just so we revise polynomial long division. Make this smaller, so it's the same question, but I'm just going to use polynomial long division now. I'm going to do it on this side. So cubed, and use this one up here. X cubed plus 2x squared plus 0x minus 1. And we're dividing that by x minus 3. Now, we say to ourselves, so I'm just doing this other method just as revision. So this is long division, polynomial long division. You only need to use one method, depending on what the question asks you. Okay, so if the question asks you to use polynomial long division, obviously you have to use that method. If it doesn't specify, you can use any method. Okay, so first thing we do is we say x to the power of 3 divided by x. What does that give us? Gives us x squared. Then we do our check. X squared times x gives us x to the power of 3. Then we multiply it by the second, so that's the first term. We then multiply it by the second term, which is minus 3. So x squared times minus 3 gives us minus 3x squared. Put a bracket around all of that. Subtraction. We minus it. This first term should always give us 0. You can write a 0 there if you like. I'm not going to. But you can. X to the power of 3 minus x to the power of 3 will give us 0. Then 2x squared minus 3x squared will give us a plus. So minus 2 plus 3 gives us positive 5x squared. When we do polynomial long division, we like to have two things on each line. So there's two things here. So we need to have another term here. So that's where we grab the 0x squared, sorry, the 0x, and we bring that down. So we bring that down. Again, you don't need to use the arrows, but I like to use the arrows. 0x. Then we use this here, and we say 5x squared divided by x is positive 5x. Let's do our check. Positive 5x times x gives us 5x squared. Once we've multiplied this by the first term, we then need to multiply this by the second term, which is second term part of this, so which is minus 3. So positive 5x times minus 3 is minus 15x. We then use a bracket around all of that, like we did above. Make sure you put a bracket around it all. Okay? And we put a minus, because that minus will affect that. Alright. Let's move. Then we do a subtraction. This will give us 0. That's our check. Should always get 0 there. 0x minus 15. That's 0x plus 15x. So it gives us 15x, positive 15x. Then we need to bring this down. We like to have two terms next to each other. Now we bring down the minus 1, and we say 15x divided by x is positive 15, and then we do our check. 15 times x gives us 15x, and then 15 times minus 3 gives us minus 45. Put that all in a bracket. Minus 15x minus 15x gives us 0. Minus 1 minus 45, which is a plus. So minus 1 plus 45 gives us 44. And you can write it out in the same way, but this is the same as this answer here. X squared plus 5x plus 15 with 44 remainder. Okay, so you can compare the two methods. If you have a choice, and you're dividing by a linear factor, I'd probably use synthetic division, but it is up to you.